Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Limitless Body Mind podcast. My name is Peter, your host, and today we will discuss one of the very important topics that can really mess up your weight loss journey, and that is your gut health. Yes, gut health can cause fat gain, it can cause plateauing with your fat loss journey. So in this episode, I will dive into these practical, tactical tips that you can apply right away into your life and identify what's going on with your gut and also fix it. So first, let's answer the question, why is your gut health so important for your fat loss journey? Well, your gut contains a lot of bacteria, like trillions of bacteria. And these bacteria, they have to be in a particular balance to work well. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but when you have the right balance, they function well. The thing is, we are all unique. Like same as our fingerprints, our gut bacteria are also kind of in a unique balance, and everybody is different. And that's why it's very tricky sometimes to identify what's going on with your gut, because there's no one solution that applies to everybody. There's no specific way that everybody can eat, a specific thing that everybody can do and just fix their issues or avoid any issues. All of us can face issues nowadays with our gut, and it's important to understand where they come from and how to fix them. Gut problems can affect hormonal levels in your body, your metabolization processes, they can make you store more fat. There's lots of issues that can come out of that. So it's important you understand this topic fully. Make sure to watch until the end. I will give you all the solutions, not only for fixing your gut, but also for preventing future issues. And before we move on, I want to kindly invite you to subscribe to this podcast. I'm making sure to release a lot of value. Everything that I teach in my YouTube channel or on the podcast is from the things that I teach to my one-to-one clients. If you're practically watching everything that I post, you will get your results. You don't need me, you don't need personal trainers, you don't need anybody. This is the exact information that I give to my clients, that I use with one-to-one clients. It works and you can do it too. I get it, sometimes it can be tricky. It can be tricky to watch a video and apply it and achieve the results. Something might be missing. And that's why I also have this weight management support group on WhatsApp that you can join anytime. It's absolutely free, and inside I sometimes post like additional workouts, training plans, diet plans, and I can answer your questions. Totally free, additional help for you guys if you need it. So let's dive into the solutions now for improving your gut. The first, you need to identify if you're eating anything that's causing issues. A lot of people nowadays have intolerance to gluten or lactose or other foods. It could be to your food supplements. It could be something that your mom cooks. Like it literally could be anything. And if you know that specific types of foods are causing issues, then you need to eliminate them. So you might want to start paying attention to how your foods actually affect your body. Don't be ever eating anything blindly. This helped me stop a lot of the foods that are hurting me, which I will mention later in this episode, because I listen to my bodies, and the body is going to tell you what's going on. If you sometimes drink a glass of milk and your stomach feels off, then maybe something is wrong with that milk. Or if you put in the milk some protein, maybe the protein powder is causing the problem. So try to separate the ingredients and see which one is giving you the issue so you can change it. So that's step number one. Make sure you do it, and then we'll move to step number two. Step number two is adding a lot of variety of foods, variety of vegetables and meats. This is a huge one. This is the best way to optimize your gut biome. In fact, I was very honored and lucky to have hosted one of the best communities for health and fitness professionals back in the day for Clubhouse during COVID. And we had like hundreds of experts, a lot of nutritionists, dietitians, and scientists, and this topic was often discussed, the gut health and how to fix gut issues. And always the solution for any gut health problems, it's variety of foods, like one of the solutions. This always is present, because what happens when you eat the same foods over and over again is that you are accumulating of the same bacteria over and over again. And as I told you, they have to be in a particular balance. If you're eating the same thing over and over, you're throwing off the balance in your gut. And the foods that you're eating might be completely healthy. There might be nothing wrong with them, but if you're only eating them, that can cause issues. So make sure you incorporate this good variety into your diet and watch your gut become healthier than before, and you should continue maintaining that to prevent any future issues. The next step is add some fermented foods to your diet. Fermented foods can be super beneficial, and some of them are just rich on some bacteria. That could be like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, and there's like a lot of different varieties of fermented foods depending on your culture, where you're from. Maybe your family cooks something that's fermented like cabbage. It can be great for your gut. So incorporate this if you're having any minor issues. That probably will fix the issues. Fermented foods are super powerful. And in the same kind of level, I should add probiotics. Probiotics are also easily accessible. You can buy them as a supplement from any pharmacy nowadays. There's like millions of different types of probiotics. So if you're not sure, you might want to consult with a doctor or a health professional. But even if you take the wrong ones, just test it out. Like, I personally don't go to a dietitian for this kind of stuff. I just go and browse and see what I can try. And I recently added probiotics to my diet, to my supplements, so I just can test it out and see if it's going to improve my stomach without a particular reason. I want to see if there's any improvement. And I don't really see it. Maybe I'm just fine and maybe I will stop them, but you might see improvement, and that's the way to go. Next thing on the list is a very popular fiber. Fiber is like a food for a lot of these good bacteria, and you need to eat sufficient amounts of it. It also clears off a lot of the stuff in your digestive system. So fiber is important. You need to eat about 25 to 30 grams of fiber, but a lot of you are not going to bother tracking the fiber because it's a bit tricky, and you don't have to. As long as you're adding good variety of foods, as I mentioned, especially lots of vegetables and fruits, most of them contain a lot of fiber. So don't go too crazy about that stuff, because you can easily fall into the trap of adding too much fiber. Too much fiber can also cause issues for your gut, so make sure that doesn't happen. And if you find yourself like sometimes like eating way too much fiber and then you feel like constipated or bloated, well, that might be the reason, because fiber actually kind of blows up quite a lot. It takes a lot of the space, and that's why it's recommended for a lot of fat loss diets. Not only improves the gut health, but some people get obsessed over having a lot of fiber because it keeps them full. It takes a lot of the space, but too much, it can damage you. So pretty much anything that is too much, it can damage you in some way. So don't, think of these ingredients and supplements as the magic solution, because once you start betting on just one of these things, regardless what it is it fiber or something else, it's gonna cause issues. For good health and good fat loss journey, you need a good balance, and you need everything, right? You need to exercise, you need to sleep well, you need to drink a lot of water, manage your stress, and that's how you get the good results and how you live healthy. It's not by just adding more fiber. So don't get full, but make sure you have some in your diet. And the next very big step, which could have been first on the list, that is processed foods. Processed foods are extremely bad for your health and for your gut. They contain emulsifiers and additives that can strip off the gut lining. That is a protective gut lining there for a reason. There are nerve endings that go directly to the edge of your gut, and if the gut lining is stripped off, these nerve endings get damaged. That can change the release of some hormones like leptin and ghrelin, which are responsible for satiety and your hunger, and it can completely mess up the responses of your body when you eat. It can mess up your metabolism, can mess up so many things that we don't even know the full list. So processed food is something you have to work on eliminating, and over time I'm sure you'll get used to it and you will stop eating them completely. That could be like processed meats, salamis, it could be processed cakes, especially things that are packaged for long-lasting shelf life. These usually are not so great. So learn to read the labels and do whatever it takes to prevent like consuming these stuff that you don't really understand. So these were like the direct things that we can do to your gut to improve it, but it's worth mentioning that high stress can also cause issues with your gut. Our brain, our nervous system is directly connected to the gut, and it's actually very complicated. We're not very advanced into the science of it, but we know that high stress can cause big issues with your gut and with anything else like in your body. So if you're living super high stress life, you're stressed from morning to evening and you're anxious about things, you gotta work on these things, and it can be tough sometimes. So make sure you exercise, you have walks, you journal, you seek a professional help, whatever it is, but don't let stress be just a normal part of your life. If you're experiencing high stress, that can kill you, and the least problem you're gonna have is your gut biome. So deal with that stuff. Other thing that we have on the list right now is also hydration. Hydration is very important for metabolization and the way your gut works. So make sure you drink enough water. Now there's different recommendations of how much water you should be drinking. I don't want to throw suggestions here, but because I feel internally that different people work differently, and I've seen that over the years. The one rule that you can apply is just don't let yourself become dehydrated. And every time your mouth dries, make sure you drink some water. So have water with you. I always have this cup because it's very easy to drink. I don't even have to unscrew the lid. I want to have very easy, fast access to my water, and I always stay hydrated. So the big rule is just don't get dehydrated, right? Keep drinking. Maybe with about 1.5 liters, 2 liters, you're not gonna go wrong, regardless of your body weight. And finally, I have to mention sleep. Sleep can also mess up your gut health in a similar way that stress could, because they're very much related. But make sure you understand it. Sleep is actually more complex, and I have recorded a separate episode about sleep. Anything about sleep and weight loss, how they are connected, and how to improve your sleep to maximize your weight loss journey and to prevent any plateauing because of poor sleep. So watch this episode if you're interested in this topic, or save it for later. And that's for today. Thank you for being my guest. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop them in the comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.